So hi there, and welcome to another episode of our Caregiver series. Here today with us, we have Sarah, and I'll pass it over to her to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah. I am 34 years old. I'm a graduate student at the University of Tampa. I've been caring for my father, who has dementia, since June 2018. However, he was diagnosed in September of 2019 with dementia. So when he first came to visit, it was just okay. He was coming to visit just to, hang out with me. I just bought a home a year ago. So I wanted him to come to check out my new house that I just bought and everything. So it was just supposed to be a short stay. So yeah. Do y'all guys want me to go into detail or just supposed to give like an introduction? So I don't know.
No, that's good. No worries. I'll ask you the first question, and we can get going. Okay, so how long have you been a caregiver? I think you briefly answered that. It's been about, I guess, 2 years, right?
Yeah, so I've been caring from almost 4 years now since
Oh,
when
4 years. Okay, got it. And if you feel comfortable, would you walk us through the diagnosis experience and what it was like for you at the beginning becoming a caregiver and just a bit of the journey from the start?
Okay. So basically, like I said, my father came to visit. It was just a routine. Hey, I was coming to see you for the summer. When he first came, everything was normal. Nothing was wrong. But he did express that he would like to stay with me for a little while. I didn't have any concerns. I was like, okay, that's fine. You can stay here for a little while, no problem. However long you want to stay here, you can stay here. Um, as time went by, I started to notice things that he was doing that made me question, like, okay, what's going on? Something is wrong because this is not normal. And some of the things that he did was basically he so for instance, he'll be in the bathroom and he'll be having a whole conversation. And I'm like, I know no one here but me and him. Like, who is he talking to? But then I come in there, I say, Dad, who you talking to? He like, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm like, okay, all right, Dad. So, but it was weird because like he was yelling outside the window, and I'm like, man, people gonna think I kidnapped you or something. Like, what are you doing? So I was like, man, okay. So I kind of brushed it off, like, okay, maybe it's nothing big. The next issue was he will forget things that happened like maybe 10 minutes ago. He'll forget it. He'll forget he totally done it. So again, at this time, I didn't know what was going on. I was just trying to, I just thought like, okay, maybe he's just getting used to, being with me and living with me. I didn't think anything big, right? I had a baby gate up on the stairs just in case, because for safety. And he tried to climb over the baby gate. And I was like, holy cow, like you could have seriously hurt yourself. Like if you would have fell down the stairs, could have a broken hip, like, all right, Dad. So I asked him, I said, Dad, why did you do that? Why did you try to climb over the stairs? He said, huh? What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. And I said, okay. I said, something is not right. So I start, of course, when we figure something is not right, the first thing we do is what? Go to Google. So I Google, I'm like, what are these signs when they do something and they don't realize? And then that's when it hit me that everything that he was showing was signs of dementia. And as I was reading, it was saying if they do something, don't ask them why, because they don't realize what they have just done. And I felt really bad because I'm like fuzzing. I'm like, Dad, why are you doing this? And he really didn't understand that he was doing something that could have harmed him. So I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, okay. So, I started doing my research on like how to interact with him and how, because now I'm understanding, something is going on. It's not he just doing this because he's not used to, being here. It's something else that's going on that's deeper. So of course he was already had a doctor where I was living at the time. And I took him to the doctor and I told his doctor, I said, hey, doc, I'm like, so we need to do a test. He goes, what's going on, Sarah? I'm like, so these are the things that are happening. I said, he's doing things that are harm to himself. They can harm him, but he doesn't realize he's doing it. He can do something, he'll forget it like 5 minutes later he did it. Or, he may go to the bathroom, forget to flush the toilet. Simple things, like that. Or maybe he'll just, talk to himself or talk to someone that's not even there. So he like, okay, so he like, that's fine. We're gonna do like this assessment for him. So they're going through this assessment and everything. And pretty much the assessment is pretty much a long list of things that he has to do that I cannot help him with. So pretty much my dad is hard of hearing and his vision is not that well. So, that can affect the cognitive skills as well. So, having all of those issues, I kind of figure like, okay, all of this has something to do with what's going on. So basically, I could not help them answer their questions. I can give you an example of some of the questions they asked, like, do you know what year it is? Do you know who's the president of the United States? So they asked things that we should know, and he wasn't able to answer those questions. They asked, can you tell the time on here or something like that? Or I'm going to tell you 3 words. Remember the last word I told you. So it was things, it was, to see, could he remember? And things for comprehensive, to see if he understood what was going on. And so by the end of the assessment, they did diagnose him with early onset dementia. So it's a lot of different forms of dementia. So early onset dementia is pretty much, he's in the beginning stage of, and when you talk about dementia, it's not pretty much a specified disease. It's pretty much a decline in the cognitive skills because his skill, he was declining in his ability to understand, comprehend, and do things like that. So he's not aggressive. I know a lot of people, I don't know how many people, how many interviews you guys have, but a lot of people that reach out to me on TikTok, they always, how do you do it? Because my grandpa or my father or my mom is so mean. She's so aggressive. She don't want me to help her with anything. And so for my father, he's not like that at all. He's very humble. He's very chill. He's very relaxed. So he was diagnosed with non-behavior dementia. Because because you can have behavior disturbance with dementia, but because he's not aggressive, he was diagnosed with early onset non-behavior dementia. And so that's what he was originally diagnosed with, he still has it as well. After, like I said, after I realized what was going on and I got a better understanding, I had to, become more familiar with how to interact with him, how to talk with him, what's going to make him comfortable, what's going to make him feel, like he's still normal and not less of a man. Because at the end of the day, they're still human. You know what I'm saying? One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to make them feel less of a person because the disease is already taking it from them. They're not used to doing things on their own because they can't. They can't just get up and get in a car, drive to the store, and do simple everyday things that we are able to do. So I try to make sure he has as much independency as possible, and I try not to take that away from him.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that experience. You said a lot of really great things. I guess to lead into that, my next question would be if you can describe what a regular day of your caregiving routine would look like with your dad and how you manage all of your daily tasks.
Okay, so it's a balance. I think you have to have a schedule. You have to have a routine because if you don't, it will be stressful. It will be chaotic. It will be crazy. And it, like I said, I learned as I went along. I learned, okay, what's going to make things simple for me? What's going to make things less stressful for me? In the beginning, I didn't know how to be a caregiver. This was something that happened out the blue. So I had to learn as I went along. I mean, of course, I know how to love someone and care for a woman, nurture them because that's how we are as humans, especially women. We nurture because that's how we're born to do. So I know how to do that, but still it was just certain things I still had to learn as I went along. So I can share like currently my routine, what I go through and how it helps me out and how it helped me stay grounded. So basically what I do is I wake up around 7 or 6 in the morning. I'll get up, I have a Yorkie, by the way. So I let my little dog out, let her go use the bathroom, everything, clean up her little area, give her fresh water, give her fresh food. After that, I'll go get myself ready. I shower, brush my teeth. I come downstairs. I fix me something to eat, whether it's cereal, smoothie, take my vitamins because as caregivers, one of the most important thing is making sure that we stay healthy and we are taking care of ourselves. So it's easy for us to get lost in caring for others and to forget to do things for ourselves. And like I said in the beginning, that was something I struggled with. But now I'm better at balancing it, the whole making sure I'm taking care of me, then taking care of my dad. So after I get myself together, I take a breather, I go and wake my father. Usually, this is around 9:30 or 10, just depends on what time I get up. I wake him up. Usually when I wake him up, sometimes he know who I am, sometimes he doesn't. For the most part, I think he just know it's some nice ladies that waking me up. Just because he wake up with a smile. He's always happy. I'm like, come on, Pops, let's go. Let's get you changed. So when I get him up, I'm taking to the bathroom. I change his depends and everything, clean him up, wash his face. If I need to change his clothes, if he had an accident, and I change his clothes. Or if it's really bad, I just give him a shower and then do all that stuff and get him dressed and everything. So after I bring him back to his room, I sit him in his recliner chair. So his room is like his own apartment. He has a recliner chair, he has a refrigerator, he has a microwave. He is living a life. Like, I'm like, that you're so lucky. I'm so jealous. So after I sit him down in his recliner, I go downstairs and then I prepare his food. And it just depends. Like I said, some days I cook big breakfast, and some days I don't have time to cook. However, I do receive the frozen meals that they deliver for senior citizens every 2 weeks. So I may put one of those meals in the microwave, which is like 8 minutes or so. Put it in the microwave, bring it out. For him, I like to consolidate all his food into one area because, for one, he's blind in the left eye, and it's kind of hard for him to see those different areas to scoop his food. So I just consolidate it into one little area. Then I put it in like a big microwave bowl container to keep it from sliding back and forth. I always use a big spoon because it's easy for him to scoop his food. Because for one, I don't want to have to feed him. Because if I feed him, then he will become dependent on me feeding him every day. I'd rather him make a mess and I just put a adult bib on him so he can still have that independency of being able to feed himself. So after he eats, I give him his medication. So he do have medicine that he takes every day. He takes eye drops every day as well, 3 times a day. I give him his medicine, make sure he have a whole bottle of water. Make sure you drink a whole bottle of water. Make sure you have milk and juice and, his fruits and everything essentials for his diet. After that, I pretty much let him do his thing and I come back and check on him. Once he's done, I get his food tray, take it up and clean everything up for him, take off his bib, make sure he's good. And usually he'll probably take a nap, but it depends. Not every day, but usually after he eats, maybe like an hour later, we go for a walk. Because one of the things is staying healthy is exercise. So I don't like him to just lay in the bed because that's how a lot of people tend to get bed bound because they stay in the bed and they don't do anything. And then their muscles lock up and then they're not able to walk. So I like to keep them mobile. So we go for a walk around the neighborhood. It just depends how he feel that day, if we go for a longer walk or a short walk. Usually I take a bottle of water when we go walking so he can have some water to drink. And we'll walk and we'll talk and I just listen to the stories he tells and I'm like, I have a time I don't know what he's talking about, but I just agree with him and laugh with him. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool, Pop. So, as long as he's walking and he's happy, I'm good. After we come back home from his walk, he is beat. He's ready to sit down and he'll fall asleep usually. Then it's lunchtime. Yeah, I give him lunch. Again, some days I cook, some days I don't. It just depends on the days. So if I feel like cooking, I'll cook. If I don't feel like cooking, I may order some takeout from Uber Eats and hey, it works. He'll eat. At that time where he's eating, I'm either in my office working on schoolwork or doing whatever else that I have to do. I do have a nurse that comes in as well, like a couple of days out the week to pretty much, bathe him, feed. So when a nurse comes, I don't have to do the whole bathe him and feed him. She'll do all of that. So that gives me a break, thank God. It's very helpful. I mean, it would be tiring if I had to do it on my own every day, but I do have help and I'm so grateful for that help that I have. So the times that I have to do it on my own, pretty much after we eat and everything, he'll sit down and watch TV. Usually I have him in the living room and I'll leave the TV on. 9 times out of 10, he'll fall asleep. But it's okay. I mean, he's not laying in the bed. He's sitting up. After that, I have class around 6 to like 9:50. So usually when I'm in class, he's in his room, watching TV, sleeping, just relaxing. Once I finish class around 9:50, I'll go check on him, make sure he's not wet. If he is wet, I change him. And then, make sure he's, dry and everything. And then I give him his bedtime medication. And now he's getting ready for bed. And that's a typical day if I had to do everything by myself without the nurses being here.
Thank you so much for describing that. That's a very packed schedule. You sound like you do a very, very great job. You guys have a great bond. I actually saw some of your TikToks and I love the journeys that you share. What's your handle so that we can share with everyone else who's watching this episode on TikTok?
Say again?
What's your TikTok handle, just so the viewers can check it out?
Oh, okay. So my TikTok name is My Dad Caregiver. So I can show you guys. I don't know if you can see this.
Perfect. And we'll put it in the bio as well after so people can refer to it.
So yes, it's My Dad Caregiver. So yeah, check us out. Some moments are really funny. Some of the funny moments I cannot get on camera because it just happens so quick. I'm like, did you just say that? Did you? And it's so funny. And I'm like, oh my God, people's not gonna believe he said this, but he did say it. Like one of the funniest moments was when he asked, we was coming from a funeral, and I left him in the car because I didn't want him to get out because we went to the graveside and everything. So I left him in the car because I didn't want him to trip or anything. So when I got back to the car, he like, oh, there she is. I need you to give me a pack of cigarettes. I said, what? And I'm like, a pack? I said, Dad, I'm not giving you no pack of cigarettes. He like, well, you just give me the money. I go to the store get them myself. I was like, I don't know where that came from. Yes, when I was younger, he used to smoke cigarettes, but he haven't smoked cigarettes in so long. So it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, what? It was hilarious. So I posted that video and like it went viral. A lot of people thought it was like hilarious. Like, get him some cigarettes. He want to smoke a cigarette. Get Pop some cigarettes. I'm like, no, you can't have cigarettes.
We'll definitely share that handle in our bio so everyone can go and check it out. And I wanted to bring attention that I love what you said about self-care and how you make time in your day to care for yourself so that then you can care better for your dad. Is there any self-care tips that you would give to new caregivers or to other caregivers that you would share?
So self-care is very important for your mental health or emotional and physical health. As a young caregiver, for me, it's very important for me to have self-care because eventually I want to have kids. You know, if you're stressed, if you're overwhelmed, it can affect your body as well. So I try to make sure that I balance. If I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed or it's just too much, I do take a step back and I'm like, okay, maybe I can call a friend to come in and stay a couple of days, or I'll take a day off. Like I was talking to my fiance, like, because he doesn't live here. He's in the military. So I do have a support system. Just having somebody to talk to when you're like feeling overwhelmed can be helpful. Some days it's just like, it's crazy. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, babe, you won't believe what your soon-to-be father-in-law just did. He like, what did he do? I'm like, this is what he did. Because at the moment, of course, I can't yell at my dad. So I need to vent to let somebody know what's going on. And like having that safe haven and having that ear to listen is so helpful, because me just talking to him, it kind of like, it brings me down back to like, okay, now I can go back and take care of the situation. Because in the moment, you just like, did he really just do this? Did he really? Like, why? Why did you just do this? Why? So you just gotta, have somebody that you can call. Somebody, whether it's your boyfriend, whether it's a girlfriend, or whether it's, your aunt or God, somebody that you can call when you have those moments where you like, I can't believe this just happened. Because if you have somebody to talk to, they can, bring you talk to them, they can bring you down. Your level of anxiety, they can bring it down just by talking to them. Going to do like to the salon, going to the nail shop, going to get a massage. Oh my God. Like sometimes I just go get a massage. I just go to the spa. It's so helpful. And so massage time, spa time, best time for me. I love it. I always try to make sure I maintain stuff for me. Like if I want to go shopping, if I want to just go out and go driving, it's like I have nothing else to do. But some days just going out and go driving just for some fresh air, could it can help as well with just a stress, being release some of the stress, and also walking. So one thing I do a lot if I feel like stressed out or overwhelmed, I just go for a walk. I literally go for a walk around the neighborhood and I have my headphones, I listen to music, and by the time I get back to the house, whatever was going on, I'm good. So some days you just got to take a step back from what's the situation, and then you got to, diffuse it, just go for a walk, then come back, and then, take care of it, whatever the situation may be. Because it's like it's useless to yell or get upset, because what's going to be done, it's still going to be there. You still got to clean up the mess, you still got to fix what's broken. So it's no need to get upset about something that it's like it's no control over.
Definitely.
So just sometimes, just like I said, take those walk. Take a long walk in the neighborhood. So take a drive. listen to your favorite music. For me, I like when I need something to calm me down, I like to listen to gospel music. Gospel music really put me back at peace. It put me in a better headspace by listening to gospel music. Like I listen to other music like R&B and stuff when I'm cleaning, but if I'm feeling like upset or just at my breaking point, I listen to gospel music. It helps a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing all of those amazing tips. I'm going to pass it now to Airbend and
Okay.
continue with the questions.
Yeah, Sarah, thanks so much. It was some very insightful. Your insight is very helpful. So thanks so much for sharing. Just in regards, you talked about some funny moments that you shared with your father. So what do you enjoy about the caregiving experience? What do you find rewarding, and what brings you joy these days? Do you think you can elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes. So basically, being able to see my dad happy, because you having dementia, I can only imagine. I try to put myself in his shoes. That's what I do. So I try to put myself in his shoes. I'm like, okay, what if I was blind in left eye? What if I was hard of hearing? What if I needed someone to care for me? How do I want that person to care for me? And by placing myself in his position, it allowed me to be able to give him that care that he needs. Because I don't want nobody to yell at me if I wasn't able to do something because of my condition, I would be upset. So being able to see that I can bring joy to his life, even though if he doesn't realize who I am, I still treat him the exact same way every day. And even sometimes he think I'm his nurse, but he's always happy. And the reason why he's always happy is because I provide love and I'm care and I'm gentle, what I'm saying, with him. So it's not like he's uncomfortable, regardless of who he think I am. He's always smiling and he's always at peace. Me being able to make him comfortable and make him be at peace when dealing with this terrible illness, it brings joy to my life. I know a lot of people are not able to do what I'm doing. And, it's understandable because everybody doesn't have the means to take care of a loved one. It's financially, it's a lot. If you're not in a position to do it, you're not going to be able to care for him because it takes a lot. Some people have to quit their jobs and, try to care for a loved one. Then it becomes more burden on them because now they're trying to figure out how I'm going to have an extra income to care for not just me, but my loved one as well. So they have to make that hard decision and place them in a nursing home. And usually when you place a loved one in a nursing home, how many times out that week do you have to go visit your loved one? If you focus on your life, maybe you'll do it for the first 2 weeks. You'll go visit every other day. Then eventually the time is going to stop and it's just going to get less and less. And eventually you done moved on about your life and you done got married, had kids, and you have your own family to tend to and your loved one is there and his health or her health is declining and they're depressed. And, I just never want to have my father in a nursing home where he feel like no one's there to come and show him love and support. So as challenging as it might be, as some days are harder than the other days, I found peace and joy knowing that he's here with me. I have eyes on. I know he's being taken care of. I know the treatment that he's receiving because I'm giving him A1 treatment. And I'm making sure when I'm not here, the nurses that come to assist him is giving him good treatment as well.
That's great, and thanks so much. We're hearing that a lot from many caregivers, so it's really great to see that caring for your father brings you joy as well. And what are some lessons that you learned from the caregiving experience? Is there one particular lesson that you'd like to share?
Patience. You will learn a lot of patience being a caregiver. When I say, as I look back on this experience that I have with my dad since we started this journey, man, I can tell you, I'm one of those. I'm paramilitary, so I'm medically retired from the army. So I'm one of those person. I hate waiting. I like things to be structured. I like things to be done. I don't, you got to be there 15 minutes prior. I don't like being late. I'm used to things being a certain way. So dealing with my father, I have learned a lot of patience. Like usually if I get pissed off about something, I am not that easy to get upset now about things. And it's funny because my fiance be like, when we have disagreements or something, I don't get upset. He like, man, the last person I dated, your response, I kind of expected something else. I'm like, no, this is what you're gonna get because I don't have time to sit here and go back and forth with you, But it teaches you a lot of patience. It really does, and I'm very thankful for that lesson learned. To be patient because at the end of the day, you never know what you might need in life, and sometimes we feel like we always got to be on a constant go, 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 go. And sometimes God is telling us to slow down and take a look at everything else. So yes, I'm thankful and grateful for patience because yes, I have a lot of patience. I'm going to give you a prime example of patience and how I know I have grown to have a lot of patience. One day, my father was upstairs in his room, and of course, I always go check on him and everything. So I'm like, I just happened to go to this. I'm like, let me go check on and see what he's doing. As I'm going up the stairs, I have this. It's a stench coming down. I'm like, dang, he must have, pooped in his pen. Okay, that's fine. No problem. I'm used to cleaning up poopy diapers. So, hey, no problem, right? It wasn't just he pooped in his divan. So when I opened the door, he was sitting in a recliner. He like, oh, there you go. Whew, I've been looking for you. And he's like, I don't know, it's just a mess. And I had to get it out. I'm like, it was poop everywhere. 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 Yeah. It was like on the dresser, on the other dresser, in the carpet. I was like, I said, okay, calm down, Sarah, calm down. I had to call my fiance. I'm like, babe, you would not believe it. Ring video doorbell. Oh, I don't know who this is. This is his. Give me a second. This is. Okay. So basically, I was like, oh my freaking. Now, this was one of those, oh my, OMG moments. Like, yeah, this have never happened. So I was just like, okay, I got this. It's okay. It's okay, Sarah. No need to get upset. Don't worry about it. Just clean it up. It's gonna be okay. So I was like, come on, Pops, let's go to the bathroom. He literally took the pen off and yeah, it was just on the floor. Like, hey, I'm like, oh, hi. So yeah, so I just took him to the bathroom and I got him all cleaned up. After I got him cleaned up, then just got some bleach and carpet cleaner and other cleaning stuff, and clean up the whole mess. And it was just I could not believe that what my eyes were seeing that day, and I was like, OMG. My initial response was, what were you thinking and why would you do this? But it's like, again, you go back to the things you learn. Don't ask questions. They don't know. They don't understand. I'm like, okay, I can't ask those questions. I was like, okay, I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to clean it up. In that moment of my life, I knew I had graduated with patience because some people probably would have freaking flipped the hell out. Me, I did not. I didn't. Didn't say anything to him. He was laughing. I was like, Pops, I don't feel like laughing with you right now. We're just gonna clean you up. He was like he was laughing. Usually I laugh, but I said, Dad, I just don't feel like laughing. Let's just get you cleaned up. So yeah, patience and when you do things like that, that's how you realize that okay, you really have learned to grow patience, because some people that would have just been it for them. You know what I'm saying? They would have, had an explosion and they just would have went off and they would have got upset. They would have yelled at their loved one, did God knows what. You know what I'm saying? But if you could just laugh it off and see ya, like nothing happened, and you're good.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, patience is such a huge skill in caregiving and a huge lesson. So yeah, thanks so much for sharing that story with us and with our audience. And thank you for your service as well. You mentioned that you were paramilitary. I'm going to hand it over to Maria. And yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you. So we just have a couple of questions left. They're a little bit more a little bit different, but Thank you so much so far. Your experience is incredible, and what you're sharing with us, your expression and your stories are all wonderful, and we're learning so much as we proceed with this interview. So thank you so much, Sarah. One of the questions that we want to sort of conclude with is, how do you see technology playing into the caregiver experience, especially on a modern sense, since you are involved in social media and all that? Do you see that becoming more popular, changing? How has it impacted you?
So I will be totally honest with you. When I created my TikTok, it was during the pandemic. And it was, it was like in May. I wasn't taking summer classes last year. I was like, I'm gonna take the semester off. And then the pandemic hit, right? So what else to do? You hear people talk about TikTok. I'm like, I'm not creating a TikTok. Nope, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Okay, I did it. So eventually I got bored and I created a TikTok. I'm not a great dancer, okay? There's a lot of people that's on there, they're great dancer. I'm like, I say, okay, this is not my thing. I can't dance. What am I gonna do? What is my TikTok page is gonna be about? I don't know. I'm boring. I just go to school and take care of my dad. Like, what can I do? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna record me and my dad life, everyday life of just, hanging out with my dad, being a caregiver. And again, I did not imagine that I would blow up or go viral, have like 187,000 followers that are following me, like 5 million likes. I never expected this. My first TikTok was me at the doctor office with my dad, and we were just waiting for the doctor, and I made a TikTok with my dad, and that it really didn't get that many views at first. I'm like, man, maybe it's not gonna work either. So, and then I posted another video maybe like a week later, and this video was one of the more sensitive side. My dad, he was emotional that day. I don't know why, but when I went upstairs, he was crying, and usually if it get like that, I honestly don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, whatever he's thinking, I'm just trying to take his mind off of it. So as he's crying and talking, I'm like, hey, I got some cookies, because he loves cookies. My dad loves cookies. So a lot of his TikTok fans would send him cookies. I'm like, please, no more cookies. We have plenty of cookies. But they would send cookies because my dad loved cookies. So I'm like, Dad, look, cookies. He like, oh. And then like literally I gave him, he stopped crying immediately. Like it just took his mind off of. I'm like, whew. But I recorded that moment, and when I posted that video, it literally went viral. And that's how I went viral, from just that simple moment of vulnerability. My dad having one of those moments where he has, you don't know what's going on in their mind, you don't know what they're thinking. Only thing you're trying to do is prevent them from being sad or trying to take their mind off whatever thoughts they are having. And the only way I can do that, I know he likes to eat. So if I give him a snack, he's going to be happy, and it's going to take his mind off of it. So yeah, works every time. So creating a TikTok, once I created, once we went viral, we started, getting more views, and I started posting more, and it's kind of like a support system for me as well. A lot of people look at me as an inspiration, like, oh my God, you're such a role model, you're an inspiration. Your page has helped me. Your page has taught me how to interact or how to deal with my loved one. But at the same time, I get support from them. If I'm having a bad day, reading those positive comments always, make my day much better. It makes it all worth it. So they're like, oh my God, you like one of the best caregivers on TikTok. I love you and your dad. Well, it's that type of feedback, it helps me out. So it's kind of like they say I'm helping them, they helping me as well, because I use it as a support system, because it can be hard. It can be challenging, could be, tough at times, but knowing that you have all of these people standing behind you, rooting for you. And not only that, they send that stuff, they send him gifts for his birthday. They sent him so much stuff. I was so surprised. Like, oh my God, like he had a lot of things for his birthday. I went live on TikTok, so his TikTok followers can see him open all the gifts, and it just brought joy to me knowing that he has so many people that have never met him, that loves him, and they support me and my dad's journey. That right there is amazing. So technology in that aspect of, allowing you to meet people, that you virtually, not in person, but it's, people through cyber that you meet. So I think that, that's very important, just having that support system. And I know a lot of apps, a lot of websites, one of the biggest things is having support system for caregivers. And that's one of the huge things, is having an outlet somewhere you can go that you feel safe, that you can talk to people.
Definitely. Thank you. I mean, Sarah, you and your dad are an inspiration to so many people. So it's really nice that you get a little bit of that positivity radiated right back at you. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And our last question is surrounding the Memoryz app. We want to hear about what you thought of it, what your experience is, any feedback, comments. And we are also working to foster a caregiving community, as you've said, because it is such a valuable part of the support network. So just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, so with the app, I'm kind of like trying to get used to it. So is Definitely. It more so for me or for my dad? Because as I was going through it, it's pretty much a lot of questions are gauged towards me. Like, how are you feeling today? What's going on? So
yeah. It's so the app actually has a dual function. It's made so that if like a care receiver, for instance, has technological capabilities, then you are able to set them up as well with the device, and they can use the app as well. But right now we're testing it out for caregivers, because it's meant to kind of have those tendencies that lead to mood tracking, avoiding burnout, connecting with other caregivers, and giving support. So that's meant for you.
Okay. Okay, so I was going through it. I know it said, mood check-in and everything. I did this, I think I want to say Sunday, because I was a little tired, so I picked fatigue. I was up late studying and everything, so I was really tired that day. So I did my mood. I'm like fatigued, I think. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, and it says your notes. I picked school, work, and cleaning. And I think that was it. And like, can you walk me through the app and like some of the things says?
Yeah, have you checked some of the buckets out that says like give support or get support?
Okay. Let me go.
Here, let me go.
Yeah, I see. So which one we gonna click on, the get support or give support?
Whichever one you like. Pick one. Any random one.
We're gonna do give support.
Give support, perfect.
Okay.
So then it'll give you a question, for instance.
Okay, I see it.
And then you type in your answer, and this answer will actually get shared with somebody that clicks on the need support category.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm spreading positivity to other people.
Yeah, exactly. Like directly to them from phone to phone.
Awesome. Okay. And then I want to click on the get support. So it says, what do you need support with? And
yeah, with you'll see the different categories there.
Activity. Oh, this is pretty cool.
And then now you are getting support directly from another caregiver or from our team who's researched and has given some responses. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, I just recently downloaded the app because I've been so busy, but I want to download the app and check it out. So this is nice. I'm going to actually go through it, and I'm actually going to try to do some of the activities and stuff on here.
Definitely, and let us know what you think. If you have any feedback, any other features you wish we had, any bugs you see, if for some reason there shouldn't be any, but just in case, yeah, feel free to connect back with us. But thank you so much for your time. Everything you shared is so valuable, and we really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the time that you guys took out to listen to my story, because I just want to be able to help somebody else that's going through it, because a lot of people, it kind of like, okay, I'm young, I can't do this, and at the end of the day, like, you can do it. It's going to have its ups and downs, but at the same time, it's so rewarding in the end,
Yeah, especially with the right support. And just to confirm, your TikTok's handle is at @MyDadCaregiver.
Yes.
Awesome. So that whoever is watching can go and follow you. Your content is amazing. And you are amazing too. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And I really enjoyed doing this interview with you guys. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sarah.